वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। अर्जुन उवाच एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमः। श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यावेशमनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेतास्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्य माव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्। सन्नियं येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः। क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषामव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखं देहवद्भिरवाप्यते। ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम्। मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः। अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय। अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्मा परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि। अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्। श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानात् ध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्। अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः। मय्यार्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो द्विजते जयः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगै मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः। अनपेक्षः शुचिर्दक्षः उदासीनो गतव्यथः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि नाशोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान् यः स मे प्रियः समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समः सङ्गविवर्जितः तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिरमौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतः स्थिरमतिर्भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्धाना भक्तास्तेऽतीव मे प्रियः ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता सूपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे भक्तियोगो नाम द्वादशोऽध्यायः हरिः ओम तत्सत् हरिः ओम तत्सत् हरिः ओम तत्सत् श्री कृष्णा परमस्तु शुभं भूयात् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्।
उपस्थित भगवत भक्तों के रूप में मेरी अपनी ही आत्माओं, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता भगवान के मुखारबिंद से निकली हुई अमर वाणी है और जो भी जीव श्रद्धा सहित इस अमर वाणी को धारण करता है वो जीवत्व को छोड़कर ईश्वरत्व की प्राप्ति करता है, इसमें कोई संशय नहीं है। ये जीवात्मा चाहे जिस देश में रहे और चाहे जिस भेष में रहे, गीता सबका सब काल में समान रूप से कल्याण करने वाला एक अनुपम एवं अलौकिक ग्रंथ है।
Uttaretat manatmanam natmanam avasataye atmaiva yat manobandhu ratmaiva vipurat panaha Yo mam pashyati savatra savam cha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami saja me na pranashyati Om Bhagavad Geeta Vishwasa Sahita Nar Parta aur Parata hai Prabhu darshan kar parivar sahit Bhavasagar se tar jata hai इसलिए सदा सत्संग करो इसलिए सदा सत्संग करो सत नियम भंग मत कभी करो भगवान तुम्हारे अंदर है नित्य नाम हरि का रिया करो नित्य नाम हरि का लिया करो You can now slowly and gently open your eyes and know that you are a unique and beautiful spiritual being of pure consciousness. And all you have to do is to shine brightly. And you'll be helping the world and the universe. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev Maharaj, stay blessed.
Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. On behalf of Swami Geeta Kiranji, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us tonight. And Swami Geeta Kiranji, we wish you a speedy recovery. We know you have some health problems, but we wish you a quick recovery. Having said that, I just got an email about 5 minutes ago from Dr. Narendra Kapoorji. He has a family emergency, and that just happened, so he will not be able to join us. So I guess, Joshiji, I'll have to hand it over to you. Joshiji.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. I also extend my wishes for full recovery, fast recovery, soon recovery for Swami Geeta Kiranji. All of us do get sometimes in our life these kind of happenings. We will pray, Geeta Kiran, that you will be out of this problem sooner than others and you think. With the Guru's blessing is will. After saying this, I request our esteemed speaker, Dr. Professor Upasaji. Again, this week also you will have a lot of time. So please take us all the way to half past the hour and give us some powerful injections and shots to get our spirits high. Dr. Prasad, up to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Joshi ji. We are missing Dr. Kapoor ji for some time. We would have heard, we have liked to hear him, but of course, when there are emergencies like this, you can't do anything. As regards Swami Geeta Kiran ji, well, there is something today in today's talk which certainly will help her get rid of this bhoktritva bhav. I will touch on this bhoktritva bhav. There is a kartritva bhav and there is bhoktritva bhav. Let me say a little bit about it before I start, but I must start prayer first. Please let me share the screen. Vansi vibhushita kara navanirdava pitambara darunabim phala darostha purnendu sundara mukhat Arvind Netrat Krishna Param Kimapi Tattvamaham Najane Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Divine souls, Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. Last week, we had gone through this verse 35 of chapter 4. Through this verse, Bhagwan is telling Arjuna as to what will be the effect of gaining that knowledge which I told you to gain from that Jnani who is Tattvadarshi. We know the very famous verse 34. Tad vidhi pranipatena Pariprasnena sevaya upadechanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. This about jnana, Bhagwan is talking about in this chapter from verse 33 onwards until 39. He tells us about what is the meaning of jnana, from how to get the jnana, and after having gained jnana, what will be the benefit? Why should one gain knowledge anyway? If there is no such grand effect after knowing knowledge, why would somebody make all the effort to gain knowledge? Here, Bhagavan is saying that yajijatva na punarmoham evam yasasi pandava yena bhutanya sesena drakshashyat manyatho mai. he is telling Arjuna that the most powerful enemy of a man or a person is for him to get deluded. His knowledge get derailed. Whatever he, see, what is the difference between animal and man? The only difference between animal and man is that adhiko jnanam, that we have higher knowledge, and that knowledge is given to us to make use of, to improve our status spiritually. So that knowledge is the one which makes us on the right path, and we do not get derailed, we do not get into the moha, because it was the moha that derailed everything for Arjuna. He was a Sattvic Pravritti man, he was of divine endowment, and he came with all resolve after getting everything was discussed, thrashed out. We knew that we are fighting Atatai, and to kill, it is the duty of a Kshatriya to kill Atatai. We have gone through the verse before. And if you, in fact, if you do not kill Atatai, then you are incurring sin. So he had known what is sin, what is a papa, and what is a punya, and decided with all deliberations that this is the path to adopt, to get rid of these atatai, and he came with fully prepared for that purpose to be fulfilled as directed by Bhagavan Sri Krishna. But he got derailed. His mind got deluded. Moha. He got into the moha. He says that I have my mind is no more in my control. I have got deluded, Bhagavan. So sadimam tuam prapannam. I am surrendering on to you, and you give me the knowledge, give me the jnana. So Bhagavan is saying again, emphatically saying here, and he has told at various places in Bhagavad Gita, that is the moha, it is the kama, krodha, lobha, chobha, moha, matsar. These are our enemies. The powerful among them are moha, powerful among them are kama and krodha. So kama, desire, and moha, lust, they are all brother and sister. They are related to each other. So if you say kama, it leads to moha. If moha, that leads to kama. So Bhagavan is saying that by gaining yaj gyatva, yaj means that. Gyatva is having known. What is the meaning of that here? He is referring to the jnana, that is the matter, that is the subject he is talking about in these verses. It says, having known that knowledge, having known that is that knowledge, you shall not get deluded. So, and emphasizes once again in this matter, presently you are deluded. Your mind is not on the right track. So this will get rid of your delusion now. In future, whole life, once you attain the knowledge, you remain always free from this delusion. As it is given in this verse, Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pasyanti Surya. Once you have realized God, you always remain in God consciousness. You are in that state from where you cannot get derailed. You will always remain free from all those impurities, and it will be free from all that leads one to a wrong track. So you will be one with supreme consciousness, with God consciousness. So, O son of Pandu, what will happen? By that means you shall see everything in me and in you everything. In you and in me, you see that all beings without exception in yourself and in me. I explained that last week about this question of his seeing in everything and in the form of Nirgun Nirakar Brahma. He will find undifferentiated everything. There is no difference between one and two. All the objects are one and the same. While if he is seeing something in the form, then he will see Bhagavan. He will see Sagun Roop, all the Ishta Devata, which he Hanuman ji or Devi or Devta, जो सगुन साकार रूप में भगवान के प्रतीक हैं, they भगवान को represent करते हैं, they will be seen. You will see all those, all in all individuals, you will see Bhagavan. So either you will see everything in Bhagavan, or you will see in Bhagavan everything. That is the Vishwarup Upasana. You see everything as a Vishwarupa. So having said that, Bhagavan is giving assurance to Arjuna that you gain that knowledge, and after gaining this knowledge, neither you will have delusion, you will remain always in God consciousness. Moving ahead, there is another couple of sloka where Bhagavan is assuring that it is not only for you who are currently deluded temporarily. You were not deluded before, you are deluded now. But I can assure you, apichedasi papevya sarvebhya papakritamah sarvam jnana plavenaiva vrajinam santarishyasi. Not only person like you who are temporarily got deluded, but even if somebody is a papa kritamaha, this word is coming from papa krit. That means those who are पाप करने वाले जो हैं, sinners, one grade. There is another grade is papa kritar. That means superior to papa krit. And papa kritama is the superlative degree. So there is comparative degree and superlative degree. Papa krita is the lower grade, Papa kritatar is middle grade, and Papa kritatam is highest grade of papi. So even if it is the highest grade of papi, Papa kritama, sarvebhya, no, there is no exception. Each one of them who is sinner, worst sinner, sarvam, all of them, papi vyaha, they will be getting rid of all their sins. How? Jnana plavenaiva. If they are taking support of the knowledge. Bhagavan is giving example of santarishasi. That means तैर करके आप चले जाओगे, पार करोगे. You will cross that ocean of sin. As if he is giving example that is, हम लोग कहते भी हैं ना, संसार सागर, दुखालयम शाश्वतम. So the sansar sagar, through this, in this verse, Bhagavan is given an example of sansar, which is full of problems and trials and tribulations. That is because of sin, you go through all trials and tribulations in life. That is sansar sagar. Sansar sagar को तैर करके जाने की बात कह रहे हैं. You will swim over, you will go across that ocean of sin by using a support, and that support is a raft. That is a flat boat. You know the raft. People are using these days to get away from the heat at the moment. They're using a raft, and a lot of them are there in the rivers and lakes. So Bhagwan is giving example here that even if a person who has committed lots of sin and at the worst among the sinners, he also has the possibility of getting beyond the sansar sagar, which is the one which is full of sin, if he takes support of this knowledge. This knowledge is in the form of raft, and the sansar sagar is the sin. So a sinner using the raft is able to cross over the sansar if he gains that knowledge. So the requirement of knowledge is absolute. There is absolutely need for attaining the knowledge, because each one of us has different degree of sin, so that we are in sansar. We are in sansar because of our karma. And in karma, as you know, every karma has some trace of sin if you are involved in sansar. If you are not involved in sansar, is a different thing. But if you are, and we are all. So people have different grades of sin in us, and that is keeping us involved in this sansar and going through the problems. Everybody has got some sickness problem, that problem. All kinds of problems are there. Bhagwan has given other example also. Here he's talking of taking recourse to Jnana, but he has given assurance to his bhakta. That is another path. Here you are gaining knowledge. But other place in chapter 9 and chapter 7, Bhagavan has given other example, almost giving similar example. But there, the examples are of a different nature, but assurance is the same. Api chedasu duracharo bhajate mam ananyabha. Here in this verse, Bhagavan is giving an example of jnana. If you are attaining jnana, then you will be able to cross over the problems and issues and of sansara. But if you are a bhakta, api chetsu duracharo, if you are durachari, if you are again sinner, and you are a worshipper, you are the one who is bhakta. If you pray to Lord, offer your bhakti, after your love, after your shraddha to Bhagavan, and ananya bhav se aap bhajte ho, to kitne bhi aap durachari ho, sadhure basa mantabya samyak vyavasito hi saha chipram bhavati dharmatma tasvachanti nigachati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhaktah pranashati. Fantastic assurance. Such a powerful assurance Bhagavan gives to his bhakta. I will not let you go down. There is no way you can be allowed to suffer if you are worshipping with ananya bhav. That is another. Even though there are people, namam uskrutino mudha prapadyante naradhama mayaya pahritagyana asurim bhava masritaha. Those who are duskritanah, those who are papi, those who are fallen in the wrong path, they are deluded, they are moved, they are lowest among the people and the person. They will not have tendency to worship Bhagavan. They are deluded. Mayaya pahritagyana. His knowledge is all taken away from him, and his asuri pravritti, he has got the asuri pravritti. They will not come to me. They don't come to me because they are duskritina. But then he says, if you are a bhakta and you are आप भजते हो अनन्य भाव से, तो कितने भी आप दुराचारी हो, आपको भगवान अपने में अपने तरफ बना लेंगे, उसे अपने में अपना लेंगे उसे। ये अपना लेने की बात भगवान कहते हैं कि सारे पाप तुम्हारे धुल जाएंगे और तुमको मैं अपने पास ले लूंगा। ये भक्ति का मार्ग है। और यहाँ भगवान ज्ञान की बात कर रहे हैं। भगवान is giving another example. That was the example of water on which raft is made, is there to use it to cross over. But then one may feel, or may Bhagavan have felt that way. That's why he has given another example, that some sin may still remain. But if you have crossed completely all the way, then nothing remains. But in this verse, he has not allowed any chance. There's no chance of leaving behind anything. What he says, Yathaidhansi samidhogni bhasmasat kurute Arjuna jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. As a blazing, Yathaidhansi samidhogni. Samidhogni is blazing fire. Very powerful fire. Yathaidhansi means wood. Samidhogni bhasmasat kurte. Even the wood that was exposed to blazing fire, it turned into ash. As this happens for the wood, so all the actions, all the karma are reduced to ash by the fire of knowledge. Here example is given of blazing fire, that is jnana, and wood is that of ajnana, that is the papa or sin or our karma which has accumulated sanchita karma throughout the whole life and previous life. We have the sanchita karma. So when we say laws here, sarva karmani, we have to ponder over it a bit. What are those karmani? When we talk of karma, then there are three kinds of karma we perform. One is kriyamana karma, we are doing at the moment. If I'm thirsty, I will drink water. If I'm hungry, I will eat. And it will be, thirst is gone, your hunger is gone. So that kind of, one way to call it agami karma, is also called, also given the same name. But when we talk of kriyamana karma, that means you are performing now. If you are reading now, you have read it. If you are playing game, you are playing game at this time. Those are the kriyamana karma. Then there is sanchita karma. That means all the karma in the past you have performed, and the result of that karma has not come. When we do kriyamana karma, then the result is immediate. If you have called somebody bad name, he will give you a slap on your face. So आपने गलत काम किया और थप्पड़ मार दिया आपको. That is done. So there is, but these are the karma which is kriyaman karma. और दूसरा है आप पढ़ाई कर रहे हो आज, and you have to go for the exam at the end of the year. So that is not a kriyaman, although you are reading, but that reading has not given you the fruit straight away. So those karma which has not given fruition, we call it phal nahi diya hai, that goes into store, that is called sanchita karma. So when Bhagwan is talking about sarva karmani, essentially you talk about all the sanchita karma, because all those sanchita karma are going to give you the problem tomorrow and day after tomorrow, this life, if not another life. So those sanchita karma which have been accumulated, Bhagavan says, sarva karmani bhasmasat, they are completely destroyed. But there is another karma, what is called prarabdha karma. That prarabdha karma, because of your such doing in the past, which has to come in this life, and you have to suffer, go through that you have go through. So this is what I'm trying to stress when we talk of the karma we are at this time in this life going through. When we go through this karma, then how should we deal with? When we talk of kriyaman, when sanchit karma is gone, if you are attained the knowledge, sanchit karma is gone. But you see, you have to go through the remaining prarabdha. That Ramakrishna, Swami Ramakrishna was enlightened. There is absolutely no doubt about it. He was totally enlightened. He had darshan of Mahakali. He was communicating with her. Subsequently, he got Dhyan from Tutapuriji. He completely got enlightened. But then he developed cancer of throat. And throat cancer he was suffering like anything. But that suffering had no effect on him. That is called bhoktritva ka abhav. हम तो भोगते हैं तो पाप करते हैं और रोते रहते हैं, गाते रहते हैं. No, I will come to that if I have time today. I will come to to affirm this thing from Maharaji's statement. Maharaji has given a statement which I will come maybe shortly. But let me go through this part. See, there is a bhoktritva which everybody, Lord's father, Dasarathji, was a beautiful example that he had to die because for some reason he had to have prarabdha. You know the story, a very long story, you know that. Why Dasarath, King Dasarath, putra ke शोक में उनको प्राण देना पड़ा. Because that was a prarabdha, and Bhagwan also couldn't stop it. Although he was father of Bhagwan, but he couldn't stop it. That one has to go through. One has to carry on in this life. And once you have done that, then you are complete. Rebirth nahi hota hai. The Ramana Maharshi had osteosarcoma and he had so painful condition. How painful it was. But he was not suffering. What happens that जो क्रियमान कर्म जब होता है, ऐसे ज्ञानी व्यक्ति जब ज्ञान हो जाता है तो वो सारे क्रियमान कर्म के लिए वो अपने को कर्ता नहीं समझता है. I am not the doer. प्रकृत्यैव क्रियमानानि प्रकृत्यैव च कर्माणि क्रियमानानि सर्वशः यः पश्यति तथात्मानं akartaram sapashyati. When in this present life, whatever, even if you are, once you have got enlightenment, then whatever action you are performing, you are doing yagyartha karma. You are not doing karma for yourself. We have gone through karmani karmaya pasyet akarmani cha karmaya. Your karma is no more binding. Your karma, neither karma karte samay, before the start of karma, you do not take the ownership of that action. Hum kartapan ka abhav rahta hai. I am not the doer. And karma ho jaane par कर्म के फल के ऊपर मेरा ध्यान नहीं रहता है. तो न कर्म करने में कर्तापन का भाव और कर्म होने पर हो जाने के बाद न उसमें फल की चाह. This is what the one who is enlightened, one who has attained knowledge, he deals with kriyaman karma. He says, I am not the doer. At the same time, when he goes through problems in the life, he says, it is not my problem because मैं तो ब्रह्म हूँ. Let me bring this point before, because today another 10 minutes. There's a lot of things to be talked about in this, and I have got time today. Luckily, I will go through. So we understand a couple of things. One thing is that Bhagwan is telling that if you are knowledgeable, you have attained the knowledge, then I take the responsibility of getting rid of all your sanchita karma and guide you to perform action in this world, but remain away from its ownership. Kartapan ka abhav. At the same time, when you are going through suffering, you do not have the bhoktritva. You are not the sufferer, because you are Brahma. You are enlightened. You are not, your body is going through all the suffering. Actually, Swami Ramakrishna, when he was going through this pain in the throat and he was having a lot of pain, his disciples around him would ask him, Swami ji, तकलीफ हो रही है क्या, दर्द हो रहा है क्या, आपको दवा डॉक्टर को दिखावें, shall we consult any doctor? He would laugh it out and says, Salama ko dhore niche. He will jokingly, he will tell his disciples कि तुमको लगता है कि हम सफर कर रहे हैं, but for him there is no suffering, because suffering happens to the body, and he is enlightened, he is beyond the body, so body doesn't have suffering. And this is what exactly Gurudev has said. I can't hold myself. Let me tell you. Let me tell you this part. Hold on. Let me tell you this part. You see, every month we have Guru Prasad. There is a magazine which comes out from Delhi, and the beautiful articles are there. I have been asked to contribute 2 articles, and I have been contributing that for about 2.5 years. Every month, I try to put in something, whatever I have knowledge. 2 articles are there, the first article and the third article. 2 articles are there. Also, in the very first, as you open up the first page, you will find this kind of it. If you have got Guru Prasad, see now this Guru Prasad art magazine is now being dispatched to every devotee whose email is lying with the headquarters. The headquarters have emails of all the devotees who have given their names and email, and they dispatch through email this Guru Prasad. Of course, it is in Hindi, so only those Hindi knowing people will be able to read it. But every magazine, every month, there is something write up by Swamiji. He has signed it. And this kind of passage is there and is full of gyan, full of knowledge, full of thoughts. इतना बढ़िया इसमें बातें होती है. I will show you this part now, and let me see whether I can give some more. What it says here, let me read through this only. Kalena yoga sansiddhi. This is the verse will come, next verse. Let me read it. जब समय पर योग सिद्ध होता है, तब उसको अपनी उपलब्धि होती है. जो ज्ञानी लोग ज्ञान का उपदेश देते हैं, वे बड़े कृपालु होते हैं. जब कोई उनसे कहने लगता है कि हम बड़े दीन हैं, हम बड़े दुखी हैं, हम हीन हैं, तो कहते हैं, अरे बाबा, तुम तो ब्रह्म है, तुम तो परमात्मा स्वरूप है, तुझे कैसा दुख, तुझे कैसा क्लेश. Let me explain. Maybe it is not very clear. If somebody approaches that person who has realized Jnana, once you have realized the knowledge and you have reached that state, you are not experiencing any kind of suffering from the sansar. But if somebody approaches him and tells him, मैं दीन हूं, मैं दुखी हूं, I am having some problem, and you see, lot of people approach Mahatma to get rid of their physical ailments, their financial problems, their family problems, and all those worldly problems, they approach to Swamis and Mahatmas. तो जो ज्ञानी लोग होते हैं वो कहते हैं, अरे बाबा तू तो ब्रह्म है. If you are ब्रह्म तो तुम्हें क्लेश कैसा? क्लेश तो बॉडी में होता है. So this is to be realized that it is the body which goes through suffering, not you. You are Brahma. You see, this kind of statement you might not have read from Maharaji, because this is pure Advait Vedant. Tat Tvam Asi. That's what it is. It is mentioned here. Let me come back to what I was saying before. Okay, now in this verse, we're talking about the wood. Now, what happens when wood example is given? Because the end result of whatever the size, shape, color, design of wood is, once it is submitted to fire, they all turn into ash. And the ash is nothing, is zero. The remnant is ash, nothing. And that is the example given of all kinds of problems, all kinds of activities, all kinds of karma which are there. They are completely dissolved after having attained the knowledge. Now the next verse, this is the verse we will continue. I will continue next week, but let me go through this to some extent. This verse says, Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitra miha vidyate tat swayam yoga sansiddha kalenatmani vindati. In this world, there exists no purifier comparable to knowledge. Knowledge is jnanena sadrisam pavitram ih vidyate. Nahi. There is no such thing as good as knowledge, which is purifier. Tat swayam yoga sansiddha kale natmani vindati. One who becomes perfect in yoga finds this on his own accord in his self in due course of time. Now, in this verse, the knowledge is said to be the supreme purifier. Pavitranam pavitresu. It is the purifier, is the most powerful purifier. There is no purifier better than this knowledge. And what happens once you have this knowledge, you attain what is called Yoga Sansiddha. Yoga Sansiddha means pinnacle of yoga. Yoga Rudha. There is another term used for Yoga Sansiddha. That is, you rise to a level when you attain one with Brahma. That is Yoga Rudha. And the meaning of Yoga Rudha is given in verse 4 of chapter 6, where it says, Yada hi nendriyarthesu na karma swanusajjate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yoga rudhas tadochate. He is called Yoga Rudha when what happens? Na indriyarthesu, he is not attached to the sense objects, karmasu, nor to his action. See, there is a sense objects and there is a action as a result of involvement with sense object. One is completely detached from the sense objects and any activity associated with objects. That is a qualification of a person who is Yoga Rudha. He has reached the pinnacle of this yoga. He has, through the yoga process, he has reached that level. He has renounced all desires and all fruits of desires. So desires and fruits of his desire, he has totally given up. And that is the qualification, that is the definition of yoga rudha. And that is the word Bhagwan is using here, yoga sansiddha. I will carry on further. I think my time is up. I will follow this up next week. Thank you very much for giving me some time to explain to some extent. Thank you very much. Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Gurudev.
Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Gurudev, Jai Prasad ji. Very powerful concepts coming out. As in the beginning said, we need some injection, some starch, and that's what we got today. So eye-opening, relieving pain of misunderstanding. Very, very powerful, so nice. Thank you very, very much. And I'll take 5 more minutes. I see that Ramesh Kemalani ji has started a new program of spreading Bhagavad Gita, so I request him, if he's listening, take a minute or two, and then I request Dinesh, who has been in Gita Dham, to take 2-3 minutes to give his experience. So Ramesh, if you're listening, unmute yourself and say something.
जय श्री कृष्ण। मुझे बहुत खुशी हो रही है अनाउंस किए हुए कि हमारे गुरुजी के सपने जो हैं वो ज़्यादा नहीं तो थोड़े थोड़े साकार हो रहे हैं, ऐसा हमको फील हो रहा है। और कुछ हमारे डिवोटीज़ हैं, उनको भी महसूस हो रहा है कि हमारे गुरुजी का एक ही सपना था कि पूरी दुनिया में घर घर में भगवत गीता का प्रचार होना चाहिए। गीता पढ़ो सबको बोलते थे, तो आज वो सपना धीरे धीरे साकार हो रहा है। हमारे भाई राजू जी और भाई जोशी जी, पीटर जी, गुरुमा जी और स्वामी किरण जी, ऐसे सब मिलकर गीता का प्रचार इकट्ठा किया था 2 साल 3 साल पहले, 4 साल, और बहुत अच्छी तरह से वो स्पीड पकड़ के आज वो स्पीड इतनी तेज जा रही है कि हम कुछ बता नहीं सकते। आज 8वां महीना चल रहा है। रोज सुबह 7:15 बजे हम लोग संपुट पाठ करते हैं। शक्ति जी सुबह करते हैं 7:15 बजे। कनाडा से हम 12वां अध्याय पढ़ते हैं और वो संपुट पाठ करते हैं, जो 2 श्लोक होते हैं। 8वें अध्याय का 27वां श्लोक चल रहा है और उसके ऊपर उसकी मीनिंग बताते हैं और 3 घंटे 2.5 घंटे उसके ऊपर प्रवचन करते हैं, रिसाइटिंग करते हैं। एक एक श्लोक एक एक डिवोटी जो आते हैं वो सीखते हैं, कोई गलती होती है तो उनको बताते हैं। ऐसे 2 प्रोग्राम शुरू किए थे 7:15 बजे से 9 बजे तक, और उसके बाद 4 बजे दिन में 4 से 6 2 घंटे। तो शक्ति जी, मैं और सारे डिवोटी जो हैं इस प्रोग्राम दोनों को बहुत अच्छी तरह से आज तक संभाल के बैठे हैं और सब लोग ने बेनिफिट किया है। जिसको एक अक्षर संस्कृत का नहीं आता था, आज वो पूरी गीता आराम से पढ़ सकते हैं। ये गुरु जी की इतनी अपार कृपा है जो हमारे ऊपर बरस रही है। और अभी 15 दिन हुए हैं, एक गिरजा स्वामी जी हैं जोधपुर में, उनके साथ मिलकर मेरे मन में उत्साह आया कि अब पूरी भगवत गीता जो है शाम को 7 बजे से लेके 9 बजे तक 2 घंटे के अंदर हम लोग गीता का, पूरी भगवत गीता का एक एक डिवोटी एक एक अध्याय पढ़ता है। तो एक अब डिवोटी 18 तो नहीं हुए हैं, 10-12 हुए हैं, तो एक एक डिवोटी 2 अध्याय 3 अध्याय वो कह रहे हैं मैं ये पढ़ूंगा, मैं ये पढ़ूंगा। ऐसे पढ़ के 2 घंटे के अंदर पूरी भगवत गीता का आज 15-20 दिन हो रहे हैं और शुरू हुआ है और सब इतना आनंद ले रहे हैं। पूरी भगवत गीता का पाठ हो रहा है। तो मुझे पता है कि गुरु जी का सपना कुछ हद तक हम लोग कोशिश कर रहे हैं अपने हिसाब से और बहुत अच्छा जा रहा है। तो हम चाहते हैं सब लोग जो हमारे बड़े बड़े डिवोटी हैं पूरे दुनिया में, वो सब इस लिंक का बेनिफिट उठाएं, क्योंकि ये लिमिटेशन नहीं होनी चाहिए। गुरुजी पूरे 101 साल पूरी दुनिया में गए हैं, गीता का प्रचार किया है, तो हमारा भी काम पड़ रहा है कि हम भी सारी दुनिया में ये इसको आगे बढ़ाएं और घर घर में बताएं ये प्रोग्राम कैसे होता है, क्या होता है। सब दिल खोल के आगे आएं और गीता का प्रचार करें, क्योंकि गीता सबकी है। दुराचारी से दुराचारी लिखा है, जैसे आज का श्लोक है। दुराचारी के लिए जो बिल्कुल जिसको हाथ जोड़ना भी नहीं आता है, भगवान तो उसके लिए गीता बनाई है कि उसका भी कल्याण हो जाता है। तो दूसरे ज्ञानी लोगों की तो बात ही अलग है।
आपका प्रोग्राम हम सबको बताएंगे, और भी ज़्यादा मेरे पास आपने इंफॉर्मेशन भेजी है तो मैं सबको बताऊंगा और आपकी सहायता करेंगे और सहायता लेंगे। सो नाइस, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। At this moment, if Dinesh is listening, Dinesh, you want to share your experience?
Yeah, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. I went to India for 10 days and I had such an experience. I can send you pictures. Last year, when I went to India in May 17th, it was sand, all sand, रेता पड़ा था। और तब से हमने पानी देना शुरू किया गीता धाम के नाम से, गुरु जी के नाम से पानी बांटना शुरू किया गांव में, संतोरा गांव में, क्योंकि बहुत पुअर था वो। तो वहाँ 130 they had tanks for the home use and 35 tanks for the birds and the animals. We filled them up, and then there was a flood in September, October, and after that it rained almost every week, and now everything has changed. With God's grace, everything has changed. There's no sand. People are doing kheti. They're plowing their fields and they're getting crops. It has changed the whole dynamics of Trivri and Santora and Jodhpur. It's beautiful. Last year it was 49.5 degree temperature. This time it was 21 degrees. Right now it's about 39, 40 degrees temperature. That's the maximum it has gone to. And no humidity. And it's not going to go up, I think. And rain is about to come. As for the Gita thing is so amazing, Joshiji and everybody. We started this Gita Satsang on the Janmashtami day last year. And you won't believe it. I salute, Ramesh ji and Shakti ji and everybody else. We have about more than 50 people at least who come, more than almost 100. And they came with no experience of singing Gita. They did not know how to read it. And they became expert. They are singing Gita by heart. And Shakti ji and Ramesh ji are doing some put part. Every day, they have not missed a single day in the whole year. Not a single day, on time at 9:45 p.m. Eastern, right now.
So nice of you. Give us your program in such a way that we can relay it to other people. Make it simple for us to help this movement. Appreciate your coming on and talking about Gita, Centura village, and Greenery, and Gita now. With that, we have taken 10 minutes extra, which is always nice.
Thank you for your time. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And
thank you.
We'll see you again next Thursday. And don't forget to sign up for Zoom registration. There's no charge for starting Zoom. And it will be a good, powerful seminar. People in Minnesota, Minneapolis are working very, very hard. They have done that before, so they will do it again. And Saturday program will be definitely on Zoom, and Swami Bhumanandi and Mr. Rai and local speakers will be there. So please register so we can send you the link. With that said, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev, and thank you, Dr. Prasadji. I do get some injection every week from a doctor of Bhagavad Gita.
Jai Shri Krishna, everybody. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai
So
Shri
beautiful.
I
So
love it.
nice to hear the developments.
Just to
Jai
let
Shri
you know, one more note. There are 2,000 kids in Jodhpur who can recite Bhagavad Gita all of it verbally, without looking at the book. Zabani yaad hai unhe. 2,000 kids in Jodhpur
Yeah,
right
I
now.
know-
Wonderful.
I know that.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's so nice.
बहुत अच्छा.
Mm.
Krishna. Yes.
Yes.
Jai Shri